Just want to get the hell out of here. I'm like a kid at Christmas, a slow cruise up the coast back to our little home at Black Cay. I think we're gonna make it in.
At a whopping 1.5 knots.
And we've been trying to stay away from as many people as possible. Kayak adventure, dinghy adventure, surfboard adventure.
Oh, we were throwing some frisbee around and a police boat came over and...
The Bahamas were in a complete lockdown. We decided to see the world by sailboat. We sailed from the Great Lakes of Canada and made it to the Bahamas, where the unexpected happened.
Not able to start the engine. Let's go! So we got to Georgetown, and then the next morning was a little bit of a off morning, because on the cruiser net it just seemed like it was really like a somber sort of situation, and people were like, nobody was panicking on the cruiser net, but it really gave you this feeling that like everything was getting very, very restricted.
We wanted to leave with the sunrise, but there was no wind whatsoever. Instead, I enjoyed a good cup of coffee. I'm just waiting to see, because I want to go back to Black Cay. I don't want to be here at all. Especially with people here are going way too crazy. There's a lot of fear being instigated by the coronavirus and someone on shore. So we just want to get the hell out of here. So I have my prepped up knot for our jib furling line, so that as soon as Corey takes out the anchor, I can pull out the jib and start sailing.
Well, we already pulled out a little bit of the jib to see if this little amount of wind was going to be enough. And I think it is. It's going to be moving pretty darn slow, but at least we can get going. So that's what we're going to do. Gonna pull up the main and shake out one of our reefs, or two of our reefs that we had set for our last passage, and then pull up anchor with our main up. And once we get the anchor pretty much up, we pull out the head sail and sail away. Along with our buddy boat, Sailing Vinyasa, we sailed out of Elizabeth Harbor on a very calm morning. The wind was finally there to allow us to leave. It was very quiet sailing by the few sailboats, with the cruiser net playing on the VH radio being the only sound we heard. We were now fully stocked up with water, gas, and food, all ready to return to our peaceful anchorage at Black Cay, a little further north on the Great Exuma.
Even if you haven't been watching all of our episodes, if you know a little bit of me, you know that I love fruits and fresh produce. You have no idea how excited I am today to have an orange. That's like the first fruit in a couple of weeks. So, it was 73 cents. It looks beautiful. It's very firm. Hopefully it tastes really good, because I think I'm gonna cry if it doesn't. I'm like a kid at Christmas. Smell that. We haven't had that calm of a sail in so long. We've been going out when there's quite a bit more wind usually, but today it's like blowing maybe 8 knots, maybe 12 at most. So it's a slow cruise up the coast back to our little home at Black Cay. It's lovely, it's sunny, calm, and you can do things while sailing without being thrown all over the place, which is quite nice. And we don't really have that far to go. It's like 18 or 20 miles, so a short half-day sail. Enjoying the view from the bow while our autopilot was doing the work was the best. I could stare at the horizon, feeling free. Plus, I didn't have to worry about hitting bottom on the Exumas. I was so happy when I saw Black Cay up ahead. Home sweet home. So sorry, it seems like our camera is dying with its sound. But right now we are entering Black Cay Cut and there's about 4 knots of wind. And when we were sailing on the beam we were going about 4 knots. But now that we're going downwind we're doing like 2 knots. It's crazy. But I think we're gonna make it in, and we're almost home. I'm so excited.
We're completely down sail right now. Actually, yeah, we're mostly downwind anyway, and the wind is so light, so we're just gonna drop it. Alex is gonna do that while I steer.
I'll have to put it more out.
Yeah, go ahead. The wind's so light that we can just pull it down and then tie it up after.
Yeah.
Our spot is just over here for anchoring. Well, Alex is getting the anchor ready up front. We got our full head sail up still. And we're coming into our anchorage at a whopping 1.5 knots. Just enough wind to get to where we need to go.
I make my own sprouts. It adds some crunch and freshness. Well, we're back at our anchorage, but provisioning in Georgetown was actually really interesting. So the government has those like 6 foot apart distancing kind of laws. So we were fully protected with our homemade face mask, gloves and all. But it was almost kind of, it was weird. It was kind of scary at the same time just doing the provisioning, just because there was so many people. And we've been trying to stay away from as many people as possible because we don't want to get sick in the Bahamas. But on a good note though, the grocery store was full of everything. There was tons of fresh produce. We found almost everything we needed. Bought some bagels and cheese and tomatoes, and that was really exciting. And it was also quite affordable. I was expecting a little bit more expensive, but it was reasonable for the Bahamas. So we actually got almost everything we needed.
Hello.
How was the surfing?
It was okay. Maybe okay for a kayak, not so good for a surfboard. I don't have a life jacket, so I didn't really want to surf anything.
Bart, my barracuda is back.
This little guy lived under our boat, eating our fish and lobster scraps during the entire stay here.
It's kind of funny, he was with us and then we left to go get provisions and he's back! Well, time to get off the boat and go on a bit of a kayak adventure, dinghy adventure, surfboard adventure. Woohoo!
Let's go! Bumper boat. Bump, bump, bump.
That's a lot of fun. He's getting away from me.
The four of us really wanted to have a nice relaxing day on our desert island all to ourselves on Black Cay. This was now our home, which provided us with fish, lobster, coconuts, and a place to stretch our legs. Our safe haven. It's a pretty good workout. I haven't done this in a while. My shoulders are already sore. Not that one though. But look, watch this.
Oh,
Maybe not. You'd be waiting for a while.
look at him! What's going on there?
The rock is farting. When the wave comes in and pushes the water like roughly a foot away from here, it bubbles up. April was getting warm, so we returned to the leeward beach to jump in the water and play a little game of frisbee.
Oh, this is so awesome. It's beautiful outside. We're just playing a game of frisbee in the water. Feels good. Good exercise.
Little far. Oh, we were throwing some frisbee around and a police boat came over and politely gave us a bit of shit, but not really. Mostly just told us we're not supposed to be going to land. We're mostly supposed to be staying in our boat. Supposedly all the grocery stores and everything are closed, which is very different from even just what was yesterday, so it's still changing on a daily basis. But they were very nice. They didn't give us, you know, any trouble really. They were just looking out for our best interests and informing us on any information that we might not already have. So it was actually a very pleasant experience comparing to our experience over in
Georgetown. Well, we really lucked out when we went to Georgetown because shortly after we came back here, we realized that the Bahamas were in a complete lockdown, which meant everyone had to stay on their boat. Nobody was allowed on shore. It was only the policemen that could actually go around. And so the grocery stores were closed. You couldn't get water, you couldn't get fuel, couldn't do pretty much anything for the full weekend. So that Friday until Monday 5 a.m. So we showed up in Georgetown like just the day before all of this happened, which is really good because it would have been a bit of a bummer going all the way there to then not be able to get anything, and then not being able to come back here because they were also checking all of the boats and no boats were allowed to leave, even if you wanted to go directly back home. So that was perfect timing for us. And then this morning I watched the news, and so the lockdown is over. Now you can go to shore, but everything's been a little changed. There's still the 24/7 curfew that's been going on in the Bahamas for 2 weeks almost now, I think. That there's no intra-island travel, and you can only go to land during the daytime kind of thing. So that's still in effect. I mean, things change all of the time, so who knows what's going on right now. So we're here in Black Cay and we're fully stocked up, and at least we don't have to go to shore for quite a while now. Hopefully anyways.
A week or something, and they were kind of just, they couldn't move from like inside.
Yum!
I guess some of the worst, oh sorry, splashing the dreads around.
Yeah.
I think it's any of those predatory type fish as well.
It's really calm, so we can pretty much go anywhere right now.
Yeah, do you want to try the our little ledge there where we've been seeing all the fishies? Also, supposedly, I guess the army is still checking people when they're leaving and asking where they're going, but they're allowing people to leave.
Well, that's good.
The same police boat that came by during our frisbee game the day before came by to say hi and to see what we were fishing or catching and make sure that we didn't have any spiny lobsters since the season was closed.
Look at my 3 beautiful little fish. Glass-eyed snappers. Dinner! I'm so excited. I'm providing supper for all of us. I got 3 glass-eyed snappers. Not the biggest ones, but that's gonna feed us. It's pretty exciting. And gosh, you should have seen me chasing after those fish. And the biggest one stole my spear tip, and I had to dive down to go get it, and he like tucked under a coral reef, so I was out of breath. But I'm working on my breath holding. I'm getting way better. But that was fun. I'm excited to eat them.
Is it my turn or whose turn is it?
Yours. Oh, I am destroying Corey. He keeps attacking Western United States.
Got roll a 6.
Oh, I lost. Okay.
I'll roll over here so it's all on the same. Ready?
Ready to die?
final
Fusing to,
3.
She would have got 5 less if you just attacked that. This is the last day we're allowed on shore.
Seems like we are back to construction zone.
I'm going to remove the injectors, hopefully, but at this point I need to see if I can solve the problem at least a little bit myself. Doing a leak down test. It has a nice crack in it. So that's a bit disheartening, I guess is the word.